Review, and this is a review to authorize, well, the study's been done. This is a redevelopment plan for the area of 720 North Avenue East.
Mr. Gallardo, if you would please come front and center. You get to sit down at the table. Mr. Gallardo, you firm serves as board planner to the City of Elizabeth Planning Board, correct?
That's correct.
And you are currently a licensed professional planner in the City of Elizabeth and represented this board for many years in that regard.
That's correct.
And your firm is prepared to be marked as Exhibit A this evening report entitled 668-770 North Avenue East Redevelopment Study and 668-770 North Avenue East Redevelopment Plan.
Yes.
And it's your understanding that the City Council, by action by way of resolution on April 24, directed that this board commence a study to determine whether the property in question that is the subject of this analysis qualifies as an area in need of redevelopment pursuant to state law.
That's correct.
If you could please, for the benefit of the board and members of the public, provide a review of the analysis that has been prepared by your office with regard to whether the property meets one of the or more of the 8 statutory criteria necessary to be found as an area in need of redevelopment.
We conducted a study. We find that the property meets 2 of the criteria to be deemed the area in need of redevelopment. Number 1, the area is within an urban enterprise zone that in itself is enough to qualify an area to be considered in need of redevelopment. We also find that the site currently contains buildings which exhibit a faulty arrangement, and that in itself also is a criteria that can be considered to qualify the area for need of redevelopment. We also find that the site also exhibits an opposite layout of structures along with an older faulty sanitary stormwater combination sewer. So we feel that it does meet 2 of the criteria.
And it's your understanding that it meets the criteria set forth in NJSA 40 capital A colon 12 40 capital A colon 12 capital A dash 6 small letter G. That such a finding that the property is in an urban enterprise zone of the municipality or the state is for the limited purpose of the property having the opportunity to enter into various types of tax exemption and or pilot agreements with the municipality.
That's right.
And it's your understanding that this property has been and continues to be a designated urban enterprise zone here in the city?
Yes.
With regard to the designation on the other subsection, you're referring to subsection D under the statute?
Yes, that's correct.
And that statute, for the record, provides that areas with buildings or improvements which, by reason of dilapidation, obsolescence, overcrowding, faulty arrangement or design, lack of ventilation, light and sanitary facilities, which you have noted in your testimony, excessive land coverage, deleterious land use or obsolete layout, which is also your testimony, sir?
Yes.
Or any combination of these factors or other factors are detrimental to the safety, health, morals, or welfare of the community. In your professional opinion as a licensed professional planner, do you believe that the property conditions that you have studied meet the criteria set under subsection D of the statute as I have read into the record?
Yes, I do.
And it is your professional opinion that it also satisfies subsection G, as I have noted earlier, with the constraint of the designation strictly for the purpose of granting tax exemptions within an enterprise zone pursuant to state law?
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions of Mr. Gallardo. As per requirement, the hearing must be open to the general public for any and all comments and the opportunity to present any witnesses or make any comments for or against the study concerning the property in question.
Before we open to the general public, Commissioners, you've heard Mrs. Gallardo's testimony regarding this matter. Do you have any questions? Seeing none, is there anyone in the audience who has any comments regarding this matter before the board? See no response. Commissioners, what's your pleasure? Motion to approve by Commissioner Melish, seconded by Commissioner Gonzalez.
Before you call the roll, Mr. Chairman, I will read into the record the text of the resolution.
I do.
Okay, if you can distribute those, I will read this into the record. This is a resolution of the Planning Board of the City of Elizabeth recommending the adoption of the 668770 North Avenue East redevelopment study to the City Council of the City of Elizabeth. Whereas the Planning Board of the City of Elizabeth at the request of the City Council of the City has embodied in its resolution of April 24, 2012, has conducted a public hearing regarding the determination as to whether the property located at 668770 North Avenue East is an area in need of redevelopment as defined under the local redevelopment council. And whereas the public hearing conducted on May 17, 2012, the Planning Board heard testimony regarding the condition of the property within the study area consisting of tax parcel 8-1308 H, also known as 668770 North Avenue East. Whereas the Planning Board reviewed redevelopment study prepared by Dupree and Egger Department Consultants for the above noted area of the aforesaid hearing, which was conducted during a special meeting held on May 17, 2012. Whereas there was great testimony on the study and no opinion was received to the general public to comment upon the study, the Planning Board hereby finds that based upon the redevelopment study and the evidence presented before it, that the aforesaid property meets the statutory criteria as an area in need of redevelopment pursuant to the local redevelopment council law. Now therefore be it resolved, proposed 668770 North Avenue East redevelopment study as presented to the Planning Board at its meeting of May 17, 2012 is hereby approved. Be it further resolved that the Board Secretary is hereby directed to transmit the approved 668-770 North Avenue East redevelopment study with this resolution to the City Council of the City of Elizabeth with the recommendation that the City Council adopt the study by resolution. Are there any questions by any members of the board concerning the contents of the resolution that I have just read into the record? There being none, Mr. Chairman, roll call vote is now.
Roll call, Marta, please.
Commissioner Gonzalez. Aye. Commissioner Cavallo. Aye. Commissioner Melish.
Aye.
Secretary Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Shafroth.
Aye.
Commissioner Newman. Aye. Vice Chairman Ross. Chairman Hahn.
Aye.
The next aspect of this hearing is now concerning the second section of this report, which was previously marked into the record as Exhibit A, and that is the redevelopment plan portion of this report. Mr. Gallarano, having already this morning qualified, please describe for the benefit of the public and the members of the board the contents of the redevelopment plan portion of this report.
Again, the property in question, again, there is being property in need of redevelopment. The property in question has already been determined to be in need of redevelopment. We looked at the property. Number one, we looked at the redevelopment goals and objectives. The redevelopment goals of the city, one is the elimination of conditions that substantially impair the sound growth and functioning of this area of the city, the encouragement of development that will start.
It's the word you're saying.
Too many syllables.
The sound growth and
the elimination of the conditions that substantially impair the sound growth and functioning of this area of the city. B, the encouragement of development that will include uses that will provide for increased employment opportunities, tax revenues, and economic growth. C, the revitalization of the area of the inclusion of land uses appropriate type, scope, and scale to meet the demands of the marketplace. And lastly, the establishment of an economically feasible area conducive to a wholesome living and working environment and beneficial to the safety, health, and welfare of the community.
Mr. Gallarano, if you could move on to Roman numeral 8, section of your report on page 10, and review for the board members of the public what are going to be considered the primary permitted and accessory uses in the proposed redevelopment plan.
The permitted uses are going to be warehousing, including refrigerated warehousing, airport freight services and distribution centers and refrigerated distribution centers. Offices, including medical offices as a principal use, is not permitted. Marine support services contained within a permanent structure, and all the uses presently permitted in the MRC zone, which are listed in the Elizabeth Land Development Code.
And could you also then please review what are going to be considered as accessory uses that will be allowed in this area governed by the proposed redevelopment plan?
Accessory uses will include on-site only fueling depot not open to the public, 6 fuel pumps maximum, guardhouses and security facilities, on-site food services for employees of the facility only, accessory uses permitted in the MRC zone, district by the city ordinance shall also be permitted.
Thank you. If you could then move on to section 4 with regard to discussing the overall bulk standards and building requirements that are being proposed in this draft redevelopment plan.
Sure. The building height will be a maximum of 55 feet. The lot size will be a minimum of 5 acres or maintain existing lot structure. Floor area ratio will be 18% minimum, 50% maximum. Setback requirements will be as such. Front yard should be a minimum of 50 feet. Side yard setback should be a minimum of 30 feet. Rear yard setback should be a minimum of 30 feet.
Are these overall bulk standards that you've articulated generally consistent with the type of uses that the city has anticipated in its master plan for this section of the city?
Yes, they are.
And are they generally consistent with other types of modern development that the city has witnessed in the MRC zone and other zones of this nature here in the city?
Yes.
If you could please review the parking requirements in this draft report.
The parking shall be a function of the gross square footage of the proposed structures. For office, parking will be 1 space for 400 square feet, and for warehouse, 1 space for 1,500 square feet. All of the uses shall be consistent with the Institute of Transportation Engineers, Parking Generation, 3rd edition.
And as these standards generally been applied in other industrial and commercial uses here in the city that are consistent with those that are permitted in this draft report?
Yes.
If you then move on to one of the statutory elements required in the report, that is the consistency and relationship of this proposed redevelopment plan to those of the city master plan, those of contiguous municipalities, and the Union County master plan.
Okay, we find that there is no conflict with any contiguous municipalities. There's no conflict with the Union County master plan, and we find that it is consistent with the state development and redevelopment plan.
And overall, in your professional opinion as a licensed professional planner, are the zoning requirements and the planning elements set forth in this draft redevelopment plan consistent with the overall intent and purpose of the master plan of the city of Elizabeth?
Yes.
And in your professional opinion, are they consistent with the overall goals, objectives, and policies set forth in the local redevelopment and housing law?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no further questions on this.
Commissioners, questions for witness on this testimony? Seeing none,
Make a motion to approve.
is there anyone in the audience who has any concerns or questions regarding this? If none, now we can make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Commissioner Melish, seconded by Commissioner Cavallo.
I'll read the following resolution into the record prior to the vote of the board. Resolution of the planning board of the city of Elizabeth recommending the adoption of 668-700 North Avenue East redevelopment plan to the city council of the city of Elizabeth. Whereas the planning board of the city of Elizabeth requests the city council of the city to buy resolution of April 24, 2012. Conducted a public hearing regarding the determination as to whether the property located at 668-770 North Avenue East, also known as tax parcel 8-1308H, is an area needed redevelopment as defined in the redevelopment and housing law. And whereas the public hearing conducted on May 17, 2012, the planning board conducted such a hearing and concluded that the property at 668-770 North Avenue East qualifies under the local redevelopment and housing law as an area needed redevelopment and adopted a resolution approving of the redevelopment study for this property. And whereas the planning board reviewed a redevelopment plan based upon the aforesaid redevelopment study prepared by Victor E. Vinegar for the above noted area during its meeting of May 17, 2012. And whereas after reviewing the plan and opening the proceedings to the general public to comment upon the plan, the planning board hereby finds that this plan will provide opportunities for the redevelopment of this property. Now therefore be it resolved, proposed 668770 North Avenue East redevelopment plan as presented to the planning board at this meeting of May 17, 2012 is hereby approved. And be it further resolved that the board secretary is hereby directed to transmit the approved 668-770 North Avenue East redevelopment plan to the City Council of the City of Elizabeth with the recommendation that the City Council adopt the plan by ordinance. Mr. Chairman, roll call votes now.
Marta, please call the roll.
Commissioner Gonzalez. Aye. Commissioner Carvalho. Aye. Commissioner Chasco.